And we are back. Appreciate y'all tapping in with us on another beautiful Friday edition of the Doin Alright Draft Edition. Got some players we want to break down for y'all, man. We let you know who those guys were in advance so that you can do your homework and all that kind of stuff. We're gonna find a way to do that more often. You know, we might tweet it out. Hey, these are the guys we talking about this week. Be ready. Come to class prepared. You know, things like that. And the comments typically follow along with us. So we appreciate y'all for doing that. We got 4 more guys today. Me and Bryan gonna go through them. We broke down some dudes this week, Bryan, but let's jump into this one, Bryan. Jordyn Tyson, Arizona State.
Allen, Texas, by the way.
Okay.
Young man from Allen.
Wide receiver. Bryan, you know, me and you've been breaking down wide receivers all week. We're gonna break down wide receivers a little bit more because there's a lot of them. That's in this first 3 rounds or so.
Yeah.
But this is my number one guy.
Yeah.
This is my number one guy. And we often talk about preferences and things that we like in some of these players. And what we've kind of talked about with everybody else, if you smush them all together into one dude, Tyson doesn't have the height as some of these other guys, but Tyson got all the other football stuff that these dudes have. I wrote right here, I would love to show you. It says, man, what a smooth route runner he is. You know what I'm saying? And that's the one thing that kind of
fluidity to his game.
Very fluid, very smooth. That's the one thing that puts me over the edge with him is that he has more size and more physical ability, but he also can get open on his own. That means a ton to me. Beats press, Bryan.
Yes.
Bryan, they try to press him up on the line of scrimmage. He has so many ways to get off press coverage. A lot of these, younger wide receivers, they don't always get the nuance, right? He's fighting with the hands. He's using the routes, or just the coach just put him in motion, get off press. Great hands, ball tracking. He tracks the ball like a fool, Bryan Broaddus. He gets downfield, medium of the field, short of the field, whatever you want to do is cool. Sometimes they'll just get it to him on a little bubble situation, like, hey man, go save us, and then he turns into yak guy and saves the hell out of him, Bryan. A ton of big plays, Bryan. I love a wide receiver that can make big plays with the ball in the air, or we just kind of get it to you and he can make a big play on his own. I love that. I put yak guy 3 times, Bryan.
Yeah.
I put yak guy 3 times, bro. All the stuff I like in a wide receiver, this dude's got it all in his report, Bryan. Just deep ball downfield lineup, inside and outside, Bryan, depending on what the defense is doing to him. Yeah. I saw some weird stuff. I forgot what game I was watching. I saw some weird stuff where some team tried to travel with him. And they just did a whole bunch of pre-motion. And then he found a way to end up on some dude that he's much better than and just ended up beating the hell out of him. He's one of those smart receivers to where, we often see, wide receivers overrun zones sometimes. He sits down in the hole. I think he's very quarterback friendly. Yeah. He has this quarterback friendly thing where he shows his numbers. You know what I'm saying? That's very Jackson and Jigba of him, Bryan. Very. You know what I'm saying? Sit down in these zones. Hey, I'm open. Clap, boom, get the ball, and he'll go be a yak guy again. Bryan, I think he's fantastic. I think he runs with a good bit of physicality, and he's fast as well, Bryan. I would love to know what he actually ends up running. But he's my wide receiver 1. Jordyn Tyson is a dude. I like him a whole bunch, Bryan.
Yeah, started his career at Colorado, and actually has a brother that plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers basketball team. So he comes from an athletic family. If you
so is he one of the Dion guys, or is he like he was with Prime and then he transferred?
He was I'm not thinking he was at Jackson State, and he wasn't one of those. Much like what Hunter was. I think this was straight from Allen High School to Colorado. That's interesting. And then he's on his way to Arizona State. This is the closest player I've seen in a long time that reminds me of George Pickens. This reminds me, the way this kid plays reminds me of George Pickens. And I know very early in the process, he was one of the first guys that I watched. And there was some talk about, would you trade George Pickens? Would you move on from George Pickens? And in my mind, I'm sitting there thinking, man, I'm just looking at George Pickens right here in the draft. Sure. You don't want to pay George Pickens $35 million? This is Jordyn Tyson. I think that he's got that kind of ability. You're right. He's going to make plays all over the field. He's going to track it, and he's a clutch player. He can go high. He can go low. It doesn't matter. He runs very angry with the ball in hand, and you see him afterwards. When he's catching that, he's getting up the field, and he's going to try and make some things happen there. You can line him up in the slot. You can line him up in the boundary. You can line him up out wide. He's going to thrive. I agree with you. I think he's a very savvy route runner. I think he's a contested catch machine. I think he plays with toughness. There's an injury history you have to look at, though, with this young man. He had a knee in 2022 and a collarbone in 2024 that needs to be checked. But, boy, this guy is a real treat to watch play the position.
Man, Bryan, I got a 1 on him. I got him over Lemon. I just think he's physically a little better than Lemon, and I think the route running's like right there.
Yeah.
As far as Tyson, I mean, as far as Tate, I think he's a lot more versatile than Tate. And we'll get to Boston at some point, Bryan. But yeah, he's clearly. You think he'll be drafted like top 5 or so, top 8 or so?
You know what? Depending on how people feel about Tate, it's funny because I know right now media scouts, they're thinking about Tate is who they're thinking about, the Ohio State wide receiver. They're thinking about him over. I think media scouts. I've seen this guy as the first one.
Sure.
I've also seen him way down the list too. I don't think people have a real handle for him on the media side of it. I think the NFL scouts will have him probably in the top 10. I would not be surprised one bit if he's the first receiver taken off the board. And now we need to see about the knee situation in 2022 and the collarbone and how that all. But man, when you watch him play, he plays like he should be the first receiver taken off the board. Just his ability to make plays all over the field. I am a fan of Lemon. I've got 2 first-round wide receivers. Tyson would be the first one, and then Lemon would be the second one, and then Tate I have in the second. But then again, we're probably talking about 15, 16, 17 first-round grades. Tate and those guys will be probably in that 18, 19 range as well. So it's a very, very. I think it's an interesting group. But like I said, if you want to see a player that reminds you, as if you're a Cowboy fan watching this, you know how George Pickens played this year. When you watch this kid, tell me in the comments if you feel like I'm wrong about that.
Bryan, I think one thing we had to figure out: Ty Simpson, the quarterback from Alabama.
Yeah.
He just decided that he wants to go be drafted this year. Hey, y'all, come put me in the draft process, right? I think we need to figure him out because we drafted at 12. One thing that Cowboy fans will love is that if he's in any of those top 11 picks or so, so just so we can have another quarterback to kind of bump guys down. I'm not watching quarterbacks until April. If the draft is like April 28 or something, I'll watch them on April 15. I'll watch all the quarterbacks at one time. But what I need is for Ty Simpson to really get up there. To really bump those guys down. Him being up there and for Jerry Jones to have a great free agency so that if you're in this situation where the Cowboys decide that they're going to tag Pickens and he's going to be with you for just 1 year, I would love it if Jordyn Tyson is available for you. You know what I'm saying? To just have him as all right, when Pickens leaves and you step up and be wide receiver too. That'd be fantastic if the Cowboys could pull that off. But we'll see. We'll cross that bridge. Bryan, tell us about Colton Hood, the cornerback from Tennessee.
Colton Hood and listen, Tennessee. We've kind of touched on McCoy, who was injured in a year ago in January and was unable to play in the 2025 season. But if you watch Tennessee football, they've got 2 really talented cornerbacks, and Colton Hood is the one who plays opposite or would have played opposite McCoy here. This guy is he's 6 foot. He's 195 pounds. So he's that ideal size for the position. He is a transfer from a couple of schools. Here's another one of those: Auburn, Colorado, and now Tennessee. So a couple of school transfers.
Traveling man.
He does play both sides of the ball. He does tend to line up though in the boundary. So he's
short field,
the short side of the field. Sometimes scouts will look at that and say, well, maybe a guy who plays in the boundary doesn't have a lot of skill because he has to use the sideline and the short field as
less field to cover,
extra defender. So that's. But the thing about this guy is, Voch, I see a guy that plays really loose and free, and I don't think it's that he's not locked in. But there is a free element to his game. And I mean, I'm talking like digs.
Floaty.
Flowy. Very much like I'm covering you, but I'm really not
Watching
covering
everything.
I'm really not covering you, but I'm covering you, but I'm also worried about over here. I think you're going to throw the ball over there. I think Colton Hood's a very flowy player. That's a really, really good one. Free element to his game.
Yeah.
I think he's got the speed and the instincts for the position. I think there's snaps where you see him quickly running across the field in order to cover his man. I think the length is good for the position. I think he's more of a press man player than he was what he does off, because I think that's that flowy element to him. I'd like to have him kind of be up on the ball. I think there's a very aggressive element to his game too when it comes to his ability to cover. He can stay in phase. He can carry routes. He's not going to let you beat you off the line. He competes for the ball. This guy is not the best tackler, though. He can get sloppy when he plays in space. There's snap when you see him, he'll like throw his body in there and try, and then arm tackle, and he becomes a problem. There are snaps where he isn't interested as well to get in there. You know, you got to kind of, it's not one of those, we've talked about some of these first-round corners that are willing to kind of get in there. I know Delane was a guy from LSU that we were talking about. Terrell from Clemson, even being 180 pounds, was interested in being a part of the tackling. So Colton Hood will have a little bit of some of those questions about him. But you can also see him being a little handsy and grabby in coverage. I do love the size of the player. I do love the tools. I do love the quick-footedness that allows him to mirror receivers and the top of the routes and trigger to adjust. But there is an element of, like I say, I'm using the word element a lot to his game where that's a little bit of that loose and free play.
Very flowy. You ain't wrong, Brian.
Yeah.
He's also very reactive.
Yeah.
He's very reactive. I think out of all the guys I've been watching, just the ability to see what's happening and to break on it, like breaking on the football. Yeah. Some guys may break earlier because they see it better. All right, cool. But his ability, whenever he sees it, if they had a combine drill where they time and just breaking on the football for like 3-yard break on the football, I think he'll lead the combine in that, Brian. I've seen so many times where he looks kind of beat, you know what I'm saying? But he'll see it. He don't always see it fast though, but he will see it. But he'll break on that football. Got some decent arm length to him. Got some decent covering of grass ability.
Yeah.
I think you made a really great point, Brian. I don't want him to go to some scheme that's like super versatile where corner's doing a whole bunch of stuff.
Right.
He's going to be if you go to a team where he's like press man 50% of the time,
just let him play that way.
I think that's his game.
Yeah.
I think that's his game. I think when you back him, he wouldn't make it in Fluce's Cowboys.
No, hell no.
Where he got to sit back 12 yards and figure it all out. I don't think that's his game. I think his game is let him use his hands and look around while he's using his hands, and when he sees it, let him press man dudes. Let him work that sideline, Brian. You got him, man. I got Colton Hood. I got a 2nd-round grade on him, Brian.
Yeah.
He's my first 2nd-round grade.
Mine too.
I got him as my 4th corner. I got him over Terrell. Avion Terrell.
So you have Terrell. You only have then.
I got 3 1s.
3 1s,
Delane and Cisse. What's his name? Cisse.
Yeah.
And then I got Colton Hood as my 4th guy and Terrell as my 5th guy.
Okay. Yeah, I've got like Hood would be my top. I've got 4 first-round corners, and then Hood would be the top one. I think in the stack, when I would think about Hood, there's probably some guys in that 2nd-round group that I would probably take over him as I look at it right now. So he in the stack of the potential 2nd-round guys, he might be further to do something that you like to do, and it's the right way to do it. When you're talking about grades, the Cowboys grade on a scale where the lower the number, the better. So if you're talking about a 2nd-round grade, this guy's probably, in the grade-wise, probably more of a 1-2-8 to 1-2-9, bottom of the 2nd round maybe on that, as compared to maybe some other guys there. I really like the other corners ahead of him, but I'm somewhere probably in that 1-2-8, 1-2-9 grade on him. That would be the bottom of the 2nd round is what I would be thinking of right there.
Man, Brian, them D tackles in there, boy, they just stacked up in there.
Yeah, they are.
Boy, Brian, they just stacked up in there. I'm going to just say some names. You just tell me if you've watched them.
Yeah.
Woods from Clemson.
Yes, sir.
McDonald from Ohio State.
Yes, sir.
Washington from Oregon.
Yes, sir.
Miller from Georgia.
Yes, sir.
Banks from Florida.
Yes, sir.
I got twos on all of them.
Yes, sir.
You got twos on all of them as well?
I think that where the twos kind of stop for me. I think Banks I've got in the third round.
Got three on Banks.
Three on Banks.
Yeah. Banks is my last two, so cool.
Yeah,
Bryan,
I would say I don't have a first round tackle, and that includes Peter Woods from Clemson. Yeah. But I do have McDonald, Miller, Washington, Woods, all as second round players, and then Banks is in the third.
Let's have a small discussion about tackle this year.
Okay.
We ain't got to go to .com, Bryan. We just talking. What's some of the differentiating factors that you're using to kind of separate some of these guys? Because I think they're all great athletes for their size.
Yeah,
they're all great athletes for their size. Some of them bigger. Some of them are ones and threes, and we'll separate those guys once we get there. But for the most part, we got good moving big people all in this kind of section, and they all do something a little different.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the differentiating factors you use to kind of separate these guys? Because I got them. We both agree that they're all in the twos. I don't know if I'm ranking them all that good though, Bryan, because they're all doing something different.
Yeah, I always kind of look at the guy's size. Mm-hmm. And when you start to talk, I kind of see like a Peter Woods guy would be like a 3 technique type of a player. Yeah, 3. But then, you look at Banks at 325, McDonald at 326, Christian Miller. He's a little bit of a smaller guy at Georgia at 310 pounds. That's what you got his weight right now. Yeah, and then I've looked at a kid named Dominique Orange from Iowa State. He's a 325-pound guy. Washington from Oregon is a 330-pound guy. I think that's kind of the differential for me right now is where we are with these tackles when it comes to their size. And, more, it seems like to me the quality of the one technique right now looks better than maybe what we're seeing at the 3 technique. We're starting to see where there was a time where we didn't have these 325-pound guys.
Threes were premium guys.
Yeah,
and one takes
remember
in day 3.
I think it was last year's draft where all of a sudden we were looking at all these 3 techniques.
Harmon and Tyleek.
Yeah, we were, and then we really the one techniques were there, but I think the quality of the one technique in this draft is better than what I've seen in some previous drafts. And I think where you and I've had this discussion before, I think maybe off camera, was about though that you have guys that these 320-pound, 325-pound guys, how well they move.
Yeah.
They're just not like space eaters. They're guys that actually have some movement to them, down the line movement and stuff like that.
Games watched for Kayden McDonald, Bryan.
Yeah.
Indiana, Penn State, Texas.
There you go.
Those are the games I watched for Kayden McDonald.
Yeah.
Man, this dude's strong as hell, bro.
Ohio State,
This dude's strong as hell, Bryan, for no reason.
Yeah.
Some differentiating factors for me, Bryan, because I think they're all athletic and they're all strong in their own right. But some differentiating factors for me is how well do you know how to play defensive tackle?
Yeah.
How well are you going to do your job? You know what I'm saying? Some of these guys got upside. We'll talk about Banks in a minute. But Kayden McDonald, if it's time for him to be a one tech and get double teamed, he knows what to do. He'll stand in there, not give up ground, get low to the ground, take a knee, stop the movement. But then he'll get up and try to make a play after you do that, Bryan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or he's not running upfield blindly if they're trying to trap him, Bryan. He's staying square. He doesn't get turned a whole bunch. Strong as hell, if I haven't mentioned that before.
He wins a lot of leverage battles.
A ton of them. He knows how to get down.
Yeah, he does.
Powerful hands, Bryan.
Right.
He got a powerful strike. Boom, standing guys up.
Yeah.
One thing I love about tackles when they're stacking and shedding people, I don't want these guys that drop their head and get lost in the fight.
Yeah.
Like I'm wrestling you so much, I'm lost in the fight. I can't see what's happening around me.
Right.
McDonald, you can see him. Boom. What y'all doing?
Yeah.
Y'all going this way, and he'll take his lineman with him. They'll both go to the ball carrier together, Bryan Broaddus. Great movement from him. They try to run some stunts and move and slants with him. They don't just let him be the big anchor guy. Right. They'll let him loop.
Right.
Because he does it. if they run outside zone or something, he's not just stuck in A gap on the outside zone.
Right.
He's gonna run his ass to the outside to go get the outside zone, Brian.
Right.
Linebackers clean as hell, man. That's probably why both the linebackers at Ohio State, they have fun over there. Sometimes when he does get high, it don't happen all the time. Sometimes when he does get high, he'll get moved around.
Right,
a little bit.
right.
That's when he's high. I think he's playing a whole bunch of snaps at Ohio State too.
Yeah.
That could be a thing. He's gonna get to the league and play 20-something snaps a game. He'll be he'll be fine. But Brian, I got a 2 on him, man. I got a high 2 on him.
Yeah.
I like him. Probably gonna be a one tech, type guy.
Right.
I think he's big enough to be a 0 if you're gonna be doing that kind of game. If you're a system where he's attacking, I think he's great at that. He can give you some pocket push. He get them big hands up in the air. If he ain't getting there, that's great for him. Or if you want him to 2 gap and just play the gaps and let people run him, man, he can do that too, Brian. Super versatile. Go ahead.
Yeah, I tell you what, this guy is he's got some of his game where I think he could be a 3-down player. And I think it comes from what you were talking about, the twist games, the loops, the thing where he's the pick and there's a guy coming behind him. It's not going to make you think of Aaron Donald rushing the passer.
Sure.
But for a 326-pound guy,
It's impressive for his big ass.
he is his ability to push and to move and to affect the quarterback. Another thing, like you said, he just does not give any ground as a player. I mean, there's some dominance to his game, and you're right. Coaches will kind of take him off the field on 3rd down. I think he could probably develop into a guy that could help you that way. But man, as far as playing the run and being a force inside, and how active he is for the size, and centers and guard combos, they have a tough time when it comes to dealing with him when he's coming off the ball. I really, really like his game. He is my number 1 or my first when it comes to the stack of these one technique defensive tackles. I mean, there's Peter Woods. We were talking about him with Clemson, more of a 3. I think Kayden McDonald from Ohio State, more of a 1 technique. But man, he is so impressive to watch on tape. If you needed one, this guy would be the one to go get.
Brian, he's nice, man.
He is a good player.
And it's the problem, Brian. This is why maybe I'm so low on Caleb Banks.
Yeah.
From Florida.
Yeah.
If you watch Washington, McDonald, all those other guys, man, they know how to play their position. Caleb Banks got a pocket full of athleticism, Brian.
He sure does.
Both pockets full.
Yeah.
If he got back pockets, got 4 pockets full, Brian. Sometimes they'll stand him up and rush him for what.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
I know he's strong as hell. He's another injured guy. Didn't have film from this year.
He has a foot problem that he dealt with the majority of the season. Yeah.
Yeah. So I watched last year's film on him. Ole Miss, LSU, Bama, whatever. Brian, some team is gonna fall in love with the athleticism.
Oh sure.
Because he's super athletic, Brian. He's big enough to be a 1 tech. He's probably gonna be a 3, because of his athleticism. But very raw. He got great feet and great quickness though.
Yeah.
But he don't know how to play football.
That's true.
He's not finding the ball carriers. He's not using hand technique. You don't always see him stacking up. You might see him run over somebody because he's strong.
Right.
But he's not stacking properly. Brian, sometimes his gap integrity is weird. Sometimes they'll loop him and the loop isn't tight.
No.
He's running wide and stuff like that. And that can result in plays running right in that gap that you ran past, right? He runs down the middle of people, Brian. There's a thin line. I was texting John Owen about whatever. There's a thin line between bull rushing and running down the middle of people.
Yeah.
It's a thin line. A real thin line. He on bull rush, Brian. Yeah. He runs down the middle of people. In a way of bull rush is maybe you can set up and then bull, or maybe you just come off the ball and bull. He's like I'm throwing my shoulder into you and I'm just running down the middle.
Yeah.
you're not gonna win that much like that. Especially when you get to the league and guys are as big as you and they're as powerful as you. He's super athletic though, so maybe he can win with that. But Bryan, I'm just seeing a dude that just doesn't know how to play D-line. When all these other guys know all the super techniques of D-line.
I think you got.
If somebody double teaming him, Bryan, he's just gonna fly backwards. He's strong enough to beat the double team, I bet. But he doesn't know how to get the leverage. He's so high. He stands up so tall.
That's the problem. That's the biggest problem with this.
Bring him down, Bryan.
Yeah,
What you think about
I mean, everything you're saying is what the tape shows. I mean, this guy, he usually uses his power in order to make things happen, and you could see him throw blockers aside. When this guy wants to play, he is a hard guy to deal with.
For sure.
The thing is, you don't see him always. The motor could be really, really good for the player. It's 6'6", 325 pounds. I mean, he is a load inside. But there's those times where you see him, like Voch was talking about, where he gets knocked aside. He plays too tall. He takes guys down the middle. He's, there's more to him where you're like going, gosh, dang, this guy's got a chance if he were just to play with a little bit better technique.
Yep.
Just a little bit better technique. And because he's got the power, he's, he won't quit. He won't quit on a play when he wants to play. You could see him at times. It's like he has to kind of recharge himself to go make a play. And then he gets him going. So I think there's when he plays tall and he gets knocked off the path. He's ended up on the ground a couple of times and watching him in some of these games. And I was like going, gosh, dang, come on, man. You're 325 pounds. You shouldn't be getting knocked around like this. Yeah. The foot stuff, it required surgery. So we need to check that out. I worry about a man with this size with a foot problem. Yeah. So keep an eye on that. This guy did transfer from Louisville, by the way, and he will be 24 years old at the start of the 2026 NFL season.
Bryan, what do you say about these players that go to big schools and got all these good coaches and all this money that they spend on them, but they don't develop the technique, or they've been playing for so long?
Yeah,
like you've been playing football your whole life and you still haven't developed technique. I'm of the mindset that if you haven't learned it at this point, I don't see.
It's gonna be hard to coach you up.
I don't know how you're gonna learn it later. Yeah. How you gonna learn it later? And you haven't learned it all. Like, what's gonna change to make you learn it in the NFL that you don't know it now?
Yeah, that's a great point, because you're right. I mean, him going to Florida, you would think that maybe his technique would improve. We've seen players. I mean, we've seen players on the Florida defense. That yes, they did move on from their coaches this year, but man, it's a little concerning when you see a guy sometimes do it.
Yeah.
Now watch him get in the NFL and start and tear it up. But right now, I think there's more questions about him playing like down after down after down than there are, like there's some of these guys, like I say, with McDonald, you see him playing down after down after down. With Banks, it's more inconsistent.
I currently have a late 2 on him, Bryan, and I'm only holding out hope for you can't beat that athleticism for that size.
Oh no, you're not wrong about that.
You know what I'm saying?
You're not wrong.
And just what you said, man, he gonna go to the league and go crazy out there in the league.
Yeah.
I'm holding out hope that somebody can, harness some of that. But Bryan, I don't like tackles that don't know how to play tackle.
Yeah, I got him as a 3. And so his grade for me would be, as we talk about a Cowboy system, would be probably in the 1-3-2, 1-3-3, kind of the top of the third round. I just have to see some of the guys around him and who I would like a little bit better there.
That's fair. He's a 1-2-9 for me. So we about right there.
Yeah.
I just got him in the twos.
Hey man, you're betting on
traits.
On the traits.
I'm betting on traits.
That's fair.
But you take trait guys in day 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That's what you taught me. Hey man, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all. Let me hit this thing up real quick, see where we at. Let me see what the next batch gonna look like. Okay? All right, here we go. Today is Friday, so y'all take your weekend. I ain't gonna make y'all do no homework on Friday and Saturday. Get your ass up Sunday and do some work now.
Yeah, watch some film.
When we get here Monday, we're gonna talk about T.J. Parker, the edge from Clemson. Olaiva Vega Ione, the guard from Penn State, so Vega Ione is what we're gonna call him.
Yeah.
Vega Ione, the guard from Penn State, CJ Allen, linebacker from Georgia, and Akeem Mesidor, the edge from Miami, John Oning's guy. We're gonna talk about those guys Monday. That's gonna be the next episode of Doing All Right Draft Edition. So y'all be sure that y'all are prepared. Be sure that y'all are ready. All this stuff will be on the test, so be ready. Appreciate you, Mr. Broaddus. Good show today.
Thank you. Appreciate you, sir.
Absolutely. Brian's still talking to the Illuminati people to get his Twitter fixed. So just hang tight. Wait till we tell you.
I think we're making progress. Hopefully one day I'm going to wake up and it's going to be fixed.
We're making progress, but wait until we tell you. Until then, go to crownglobalmedia.com to look for anything that you're looking for. If you want this quarter zip that Brian got on, the Doing All Right quarters, let me put my glass on for this one.
By the way, we got stuff up for Scout's Eye.
We got Scout's Eye up there?
We got Scout's Eye stuff up.
Okay.
Merch for Scout's Eye.
Okay.
With the trademark sunglasses.
All right.
Yeah.
So, look, if you want the Doing All Right or if you want the...
And the stack. We got the stack.
I got some stack merch, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, man, go up there and enjoy yourself. Just knock yourself out. Get somebody a birthday gift. We really do appreciate y'all. Also on the website, the link to all the content, all the audio, everything that you may be looking for, it is on the website, crownglobalmedia.com. Appreciate y'all for tapping in with us. We'll catch y'all Monday. That's Bryan Broaddus. I'm Voch Lombardi. Crown.